Next Unjumble Rashi number 8. The Rashi is basically broken up into 6 parts, excluding the Dibra Maskal. I'm not counting that. And that is Kasha Aleph, question 1, Teretz Aleph, answer 2, Kasha Base, question 2, Teretz Base, answer 2, Makar and Ha'ara. So there's a Kasha, a Teretz, Kasha Aleph, Teretz Aleph, Kasha Base, Teretz Base, Makar, a source, Ha'ara, a comment. 6 parts. That's the whole Rashi. So it'd be good if the boys could even memorize the subheadings as well, just to keep things into perspective. And our actual Rashi itself, it has a Dibra Maschel, 2 Dibra Maschels coming together in this Rashi. And those 2 Dibra Maschels, it's an unusual Rashi, will actually form part of the answer to the first question. So, Kasha Aleph, question 1, V'lo Zachasara Mashkim and Vishkachei. As soon as you look at those 2 Dibra Maschels, well, aren't V'lo Zachar and Vishkachei the same thing? So that's the first part of our Rashi. So I'll look for Kasha Aleph. If I can find Kasha Aleph, where are you? There we go. Kasha Aleph, put a 1 in there. It's the first part. Ant Veloy Zochar and Vayishka Cheho, the same thing. They're really the same thing. So why does the Torah seem to repeat itself? So if we look for Teretz Aleph, answer 1, well, Teretz Aleph will be, and this is section 2, it's 2 time zones. He didn't remember him on the day when he was released. The chief butler forgot Yosef on the day he was released. He forgot him also later on in time. So this is section 2. This is Teretz Aleph, section 2. Okay, and there's the Hebrew pre-written for speed of this video. And the chief butler didn't remember him on that day, and he forgot him afterwards. Okay, so that was the end of answer 1. Now we go to Kasha Base, question 2, and we have a look for it. And the implied question is between this part over here. Why did the butler forget Yosef? That is question 2, and that's section 3. Well, why did he forget Yosef? So let's write that implied question down. There's no Hebrew. That was, I think we said that was section 3. Kasha Base, section 3. So put a 3 in there to unjumble it. And why did the butler forget Yosef? Okay, that's question 2. So then we have to have a Teretz Base, an answer to. That will be section 4. Teretz Base. There you go, Teretz Base, section 4. We see it in the Rashi in the original. And the reason he forgot him is because Yosef relied on him in his trust, L'Zachar, to remember him. So Hashem punished him, and he was required to be in prison for 2 years. So Mipnei, because Shetalava Yosef relied on him, B'tchonoi, with his trust, L'Zachroi, to remember him. Huskaklios, he was required to be also shtei shonim, imprisoned for 2 years. So that's Teretz Base. Then we said in our original list, going over here, we said after Teretz Base comes the Mocker. That's the fifth part, and there it is. I'll just go back. The Makar. So we look for the Makar. Source. Quoting from a Pasuk. Rashi's quoting from a Pasuk, so we look for the Makar. If I can find you, there you are. And that's section 5. And we see that in the Rashi. Shinemar, as it says, happy is the man who puts his trust in Hashem. El Rahavim, he doesn't turn to the proud ones. Doesn't rely on proud, powerful people. He relies on Hashem. Shinemar, as it says, Asher HaGever, happy is the man, Asher Som Hashem Miftachoi, who puts his trust in Hashem, V'loifana, and doesn't turn El Rahavim, to the proud ones, to the proud ones, proud and mighty people. He relies on Hashem. A similar pasuk we have, Al tivtechu v'nedavim, don't rely on the nobles, put your faith in Hashem. And then we have the Ha'ara, which we see is section 6. Ha'ara v'lo vatzach al Mitzrim, he doesn't rely on the Egyptians, Hakrim Rahav, who are called the proud ones. Don't rely on the powerful people, rely on Hashem. And he doesn't rely al Mitzrim, on the Mitzrayim, Hakrim Rahav, who are called proud. And that concludes the Rashi.